And welcome to episode 23 of the Backdoor Cut podcast. I'm Clayton, joined by my new partner in crime, Merge. How are you doing?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm frustrated right now. That's where I'm at.
yeah. Me and Merge apparently, when we get frustrated, we both laugh. That's because that's all you can do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, real quick before we get to the real meat of the podcast, I'm gonna let you talk real quick about the Cavs game.
Yeah.
I was only able to watch about the last 6 minutes of the game. So, do you want to go over that real quick?
Yeah, first half it was Julius was looking really good, making a lot of shots. He was finishing and he was dribbling pretty well. He only played like half of the third, and he still had 7 assists, which was pretty good, 16 points. Nick was just a flamethrower. He was not missing. He had 8 threes, 32 points. Jordan found his shot again. On the Cavs side, Kyrie and Kevin Love just destroyed us. Kevin Love especially, he almost had a 2020 game. He had 27 and 17. Kyrie had a career high in assists, which shows he had 12.
Considering that's a high for a career high for him, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, LeBron didn't turn it on until the fourth quarter, and then he went ballistic. Scored like 14, I think, in the fourth,
Hmm.
making threes, which was kind of annoying. But Ingram had almost a triple double, a weird triple double. He had 9 points, 9 rebounds. No, 9 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. And he probably would have got it if Mozgov didn't. He didn't hang himself on the rim like that.
Yeah,
Um, besides, he's like one of the smartest 19-year-old players I've seen in a long time.
yeah,
He's able to decide like what to do so quickly, and he's able to do the right passes. I was listening to the Laker Film Room podcast today, and he said that he's only had 3 bad pass turnovers this whole year, which is pretty incredible for a 19-year-old.
yeah.
Besides that, it was really just Nick just shooting really well, and the big three of the Cavs killing us pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I was impressed by how they stayed with them, especially without D'Angelo playing. They
yeah.
were able to only lose by 6, which was pretty impressive to me.
I,
But yeah,
I agree. And about Ingram, I totally agree with that.
yeah,
Especially the last few games, looks like the game is slowing down.
hmm
I think even we mentioned the last podcast about how the Ingram point guard thing, was not working out as well as we had hoped.
yeah,
Um, the last 2 to 3 games, it's just all slowed down for him, and he looks a lot better.
uh
Um, yeah, I see Nick went completely
oh,
Super Saiyan.
he was just I don't even know. He does that sometimes, and it's like how was this dude almost cut? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we
yeah,
know, how he
we
was.
know why he was almost cut, but he wasn't good for 2 years. With my point.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Coaching.
yeah, I guess so.
Um, onto that topic. Let's transition over to the Hornets game. That that game was incredibly frustrating. One, because I was having to deal with some computer issues. Secondly, we were what, up at 19 at one point
He scored 73 points in
in
the
the
first half.
yeah, and we ended with 113. So we scored 40 points the second half,
Yeah.
23 in the third, and 17 in the fourth, and yeah. Um, well, first off, Ingram looked really good again.
Yes, he did. He did.
Um, JC continued his little hot streak that he's been on
Career
after.
high 8 threes.
Yeah, that was no, it was seven.
Oh,
It
seven.
was
Okay, yeah.
7 of 9. But he was 9 for 13 from the field for 25 points.
What were his turnovers?
Turnovers, he had one.
Okay,
He only had one.
that's pretty good.
He played the most. Well, oh no. Dang had the most minutes played, and Randall was tied with Clarkson with 31 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just gonna look straight off of the box score, Randall was not the greatest tonight. He only had 6 rebounds. He was 4 for 12 from the field.
He did have 5 blocks, which was.
He did have 5 blocks and 4 assists,
insane.
so it was up and down. Dang, 5 for 10, which
He looked good again. He's just.
yeah,
He's been.
he looked better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say exactly good. I thought he was burned a few times, especially when he was having to defend Batum. Mozgov only played 11 minutes.
He was in foul trouble, I think.
He had 3 fouls all game.
He had 2 super early in the first, and then the small lineup was working really well for Lakers.
Yeah.
So basically,
it was working really well until the end when we needed a big man on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, we needed a bigger man, not necessarily a traditional big man. We needed a big man that was.
Yeah, I mean Randall was our center, so.
yeah, and he just Zeller had 3 inches on him.
Yeah, and then I think Ingram was 4 at the end of that game too, or Dang. I forgot who it was.
Height doesn't always necessarily mean everything.
Yeah, because Kemba had 8, so.
But yeah, well, that was. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Russell, I thought looked pretty good. His passes were just disgusting tonight, and he had 5 assists, and I would say he probably missed at least 3 or 4 more that just off of easy.
Those cross-court bullets are just a thing of beauty. Like, can anyone else do that in the NBA right now? Like, seriously. Maybe like Chris Paul. Yeah.
Curry probably. Curry likes to do that from time to time. He doesn't. I don't think he takes a ton of risky passes, but maybe that's just me. Yeah. He was like that against the Sixers. We mentioned it, how his passes were just phenomenal. And Nick Young was 9 for 8. He was 50% from the field, 9 for 8, 5 of 10, 1 for 1 from the line.
How many of those misses were like end of the game though? Like,
I don't remember. The second half he was not as good, and he was a negative 22 for the game, which take with a grain of salt. But you could see the end of the game was pretty bad. Nance looked good until unfortunately he went down. I thought Ingram looked really well. He didn't shoot very much. I thought from overall he looked good. And then of course Clarkson was good and Lou. But the Nance injury, I think, has so many people concerned, especially. Well, I mean, just everyone. That was not a good-looking injury.
Like Zeller, like he was going after the ball, and then I don't even know what really happened. It looked like Larry just stepped, and then he's like, "I can't keep on playing. Take me out right now."
Yeah, that was. I guess you would diagnose that as a non-contact.
Yeah,
injury,
that was 100% non-contact.
Those are the worst.
Yeah. The good thing, he actually did come back negative, which doesn't really mean much. It's not a fracture, but it was still the ACL concern.
Yeah. To calm everyone's fears down, he tore his right ACL, the ACL on his right knee in college. He did not tear his left one. That was the knee that he injured tonight, was the left knee. So we just gotta hope that doesn't turn out to be anything.
At this point, I'm just hoping it's like a contusion or something.
Yeah, or just like a sprain, or I'm
expecting him out for a couple weeks, probably.
Yeah, I would say, depending on the severity, I'd say 1 to 2 at the best, and then it could be months.
Yeah,
or a whole year. If it happens to be like a full-blown ACL tear.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about D'Lo's passes; they were just on point. But the topic right now, before we got on, was D'Angelo out of the game the last 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Was it?
D'Angelo and Lou both came out the last. Well, they came out at like 4 something, and then Lou came back
Mhm.
mid like 140 something. I want to
Yeah,
say.
that made no sense.
Yeah, those were the
I
only two really scoring and creating for the Lakers at end of game.
Yeah, I love Luke. Luke is an awesome coach, but he is not above criticism. He's a young coach, and that was a very big tactical mistake right there, taking out D'Lo in
Yeah.
the last when after the moment he got taken out, the Lakers were a -10 till the end of the game.
hmm
So
I think they only made
that
one shot. I think they were 1 for 9.
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Why on earth? And especially like he wasn't. I don't think he was particularly bad tonight. Like
No,
he
I
shot.
think he was above average, really, honestly.
Yeah, I mean he was 2 for 13, 1 for 4 from three, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, like we always say with plus minus, he was a -7, which really,
I think that was a lot of the beginning of the third.
yeah, exactly. When they went on a 15-0 run.
And it didn't really seem like D'Angelo. I mean, I know Kemba went on a run, but it seemed like they were like switching a lot.
Definitely do that. Um, I just that was just not that was not smart. And then of course like they lose the lead and he still doesn't make the change, you know?
Yeah.
Like we are now 10 for our last 11. That
He,
was an easy that was a win if you keep him in my opinion.
yeah.
I mean, hindsight always 2020, but I mean, even I think everyone was like, "Wait, where's D'Lo?"
Yeah, it was just the offense was just so stagnant when he came out. It was a lot of, all right, JC, you dribble around. Okay, you can't score here. Give it to Nick, and he'll try to break someone down.
Nick like immediately after like hijacked it in my opinion,
Yeah, it was a lot of Nick ISO ball.
which you don't
No,
want.
a
But
lot of Nick's buckets were off of screens or wide open threes.
yeah, that is just a frustrating thing. Like
But I mean, like,
especially after last year. Like I
yeah,
understand you're supposed to be spreading the minutes around, but D'Lo played 26 minutes. He was not, according to Luke and according to others in the Lakers, he is not on a minutes restriction anymore. He is a full go. Why is he continually on this stupid 24 to 27 minute limit?
yeah,
Like, hot take, I guess. I'm sorry. It's so frustrating. After weeks of Jordan Clarkson just playing awful and getting a ridiculous nickname. Um, the, like, if he's back and he was playing well, then what on earth are you doing? If you take, like, I mean, it's, oh my word, I hate doing that. If you take away the 15-minute or the 15-0 run at the beginning, he's what, a +8 beforehand?
yeah, probably.
Give or take. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, him and Ingram are your biggest assets. And unless you're showcasing people, which for all we know we might be,
Mm.
there's no reason for him to keep being on this. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Luke, and he seems to do this a lot. He seems to make subs really late. Like I kind of understand if it was like 8 minutes in the fourth, and then D'Angelo's out for like 3-4 minutes or something, and then he came back for like the final 4 minutes. But it was like they had a run like a roll going. They're up by 6. D'Angelo was drawing fouls or kicking it out to like Lou and people like that, and it like I don't know. We were rolling. We were up by 6. I don't.
I I just don't.
Got to stick with who was doing well. I mean, I don't know. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna try.
mean, even Lakers film room, who we all love, Pete. He acknowledged like that was the worst tactical mistake of the year.
Yeah,
Like, it's just I I don't get it.
Yeah. No.
Like they all seem to love Luke, so and there's no reports that like D'Angelo's being a knucklehead.
Nope.
Like I mean, did with my frustration of dealing with the computer, was he looking bad on defense?
Um, I don't. I mean, Kemba had 28. I don't think he looked that bad. Kemba burned him a couple of times, which is kind of understandable. Kemba's like one of the quickest guards in the league.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um,
Kemba also played 41 minutes.
wow.
So
Yeah,
that
Kemba was
that's what 15 more minutes than D'Angelo.
yeah.
That was not he did not score all 28 on D'Angelo.
I would say like 8 of them were on D'Angelo. That's just my guess though, because a lot of times they tried to switch D'Angelo off of Kemba. You know how Kemba is on those ISO. He can just like break some dude's ankles at any moment. And
Yeah.
they tried. I think they tried to switch like Randall or Ingram on him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say all of. He didn't play. Like, he didn't lock him down by any means, but he wasn't awful against him. He was average, just like how D'Angelo is on defense. He's an average defender, or maybe
Yeah.
at his best.
On man, he's an average defender. On ball, that's where the issues are. But on man, he's good. Off ball, he's bad. I think I said it the other way around. um, yeah, and then so the closing lineup for the game was Lou, JC, Nick, Randall, and Dang.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I would have just like replaced D'Angelo with Lou. I think that's a fine lineup, honestly.
With Luau or Lou?
Lou. I think Lou was doing better than like he looked okay. I think he was good to have out there.
I
And
agree.
Lou wasn't having like one of his crazy closer Lou games.
Yeah, well, Nick at the end of the game went cold. So I mean, Lou wasn't particularly great because he was 5 for 12, but
Yeah.
the 5 for 6 because of the free throw line that does obviously make it look better. But in a true shooting the percentage standpoint, but I just I that lineup it was no surprise. We
Yeah.
have you have Lou Williams and Jordan Clarkson who are atrocious defenders. Well, no wonder.
Yeah.
Like I, yeah, I don't like it. Um, do you have anything else to say on that?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add. I think Julius didn't have his mind fully on the game
I
today.
agree with that.
That I mean, so I'm not gonna go too hard on him. He was making a lot of dumb like fundamental turnovers and he was missing like easy little layups. But I think his mind was on his fiance and his unborn baby.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna give him a little bit of leeway for today's game. But I mean, besides,
honestly, I was surprised that he played.
I mean, he almost had like what a 4x5 something like that, a 5x4 whatever.
Yeah, he was one assist away from a 5 by 5.
5x5 really?
Or a 5 by 4. Yeah,
Oh,
my
okay.
bad. I looked at defensive rebounds and rebounds next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, it was 5 by 4. I mean, he wasn't particularly great, especially in the second half.
No, he was
But
defensively. I think there was that weird, that crazy like span where he had like 3 blocks in like 3-4 minutes.
yeah. um, I mean, personally, I would have been a wreck
Yeah.
knowing that my wife was about to give birth. So, I mean, I don't really blame him for that.
Yeah. I think he
Um,
did well for the stress he was kind of under.
yeah, I agree. No, if anyone honestly said that they would be in their right mind in that situation, you're lying to yourself. My wife me and my wife have a kid. There's nothing else on your mind.
Yeah.
Don't kid yourself. You're
Unless you're Al Horford, and then you can jet off to your game after your baby is born, right?
yeah. Yeah, no. There's No, you're lying to yourself if you say that you'd be able to focus on the game.
Yeah.
Nope, because after a mistake, you're like, crap. When is this going to end? So then I can just go be with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, one final thing on the game. Kimba is what listed at 6'1".
Yeah. Something like that.
I think. I'll pull it up just to make sure. He is listed.
I mean, he was the smallest man on the court. He was.
Yep.
I'll say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, Lou has 2
yeah.
inches on him, I think, but Lou wasn't really defending him.
No.
He's 6'1", 184. He had 8 rebounds tonight.
How many offensive did he have?
5 of them were offensive.
He's not even like a Russell Westbrook type. Because Russell Westbrook, what, 6'3"? He's probably the best rebounding guard in the league.
Yeah, and also it helps because he's
crazy
insanely athletic.
Yeah.
On the season, he's averaging less than 4. He's at 3.8 a game.
Yeah.
That's how and 5 offensive. Like that's just they're yeah. Obviously, that was a real thing. Like if it wasn't for the fact that my baby fell asleep, I would have been yelling at the TV. Someone get a rebound over the 6'1" guy. Like, and it probably would have been worse than that.
How many second chance points did the Hornets have, by the way?
Let's see team stats.
Because it seemed like they just got every freaking offensive rebound.
I don't see that stat on ESPN, but it did feel like they just had a ton. They had 13 fewer fouls, which makes sense. They had 8 more points in the paint. Again, makes sense. Yeah, they only had 4 more rebounds, but 4 of those were of the 5 of Kimba's 8 total, and 5 offensive rebounds. A guy that is 6'1" should not be getting that many offensive rebounds, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even just gonna, like how we said that we're not just gonna blame Randall for that. Like there was Dang, there was Nick, there was a play. I don't remember who on Charlotte missed the shot, but Kemba got it in the middle of Nick, Lou, Dang, and Randall. Nick is 6'7". The other 2 are 6'9".
They're 6'9" and they're big. Like
yeah, just whatever. Before we got some questions from Lakers Pulse. Before we get to those, I don't exactly want to do grades just yet, especially when I'm pissed. Let's do. There is a trade that a lot of people are talking about right now on Lakers Twitter, and that would be the possibility of adding Nerlens Noel.
Yep.
And some people want to deal JC, some want to deal Lou Williams. Either way, I think both of them have a little bit more value than Noel because he's about to get paid, and he's coming off of an injury. Not to mention, the Sixers have ruined his trade value, in my opinion. But what do you think of that possibility?
I think, like you said, I think he doesn't have as much value as JC or Lou. I think they would need to add one more player to Noel. Like someone like a Luau, like a young guy who could we can add on and that could help us in the future. I like Noel. I think he could be a really good rim protector, really good defensive. Isn't he like really good at like stealing the ball too, for a big man at least?
Give me a second. I'll look that up.
I remember seeing something last year that when Okafor was on the floor, they were the worst defense in the league. When Noel
anytime Okafor is on the floor, the team is bad.
When Noel was on the floor, they were a top 10 defense in the league.
Yeah. The past 2 years, so pretty much his rookie and sophomore year,
yeah,
he's averaged 1.8 steals a game.
That's ridiculous for a center.
Yeah, and 1.5 or 1.9 blocks. And honestly, last year he would have probably been over 2 blocks a game if it wasn't that they were playing him at the 4 with freaking Okafor.
Yeah.
I
do think that someone else is going to snag him, like the Rockets. I think they have more of an incentive to go and snag him because they lost Clint Capella for at least a month and maybe even longer, and Capella's might be their second most important player after Harden. So I think Noel could like slide in for them a little bit easier and provide defense and lob catching. But yeah. I would like to add him on the Lakers because I think he's the center archetype that the Lakers need for the future, for like D'Angelo pick and rolls, or for defense and catching lobs. I think that's the type of center we need in the future.
I agree. His defense potential is insane.
Yeah.
And even though we just paid Mozgov with the reported insane salary cap jumps that are about to happen, whatever you sign Nerlens to, it's not going to be that huge of a deal.
And Nerlens isn't going to be a max, so he'll be like,
especially with the injuries.
Yeah, he'll be like maybe like 3 or 4 years and like 15 plus.
I would probably say 18 plus.
18 plus.
So like 4 years and 72, or
so like Mozgov's deal.
More like Dang's deal.
Like, oh man, my bad.
But if you trade for him, the thing about it is that you get to keep his rights, which is good, because then you can either agree with him or obviously match anything. And restricted free agency always scares teams off, so he might not even get an offer and then just accept what you give him.
Yeah.
Which sucks for the player, but at the same time, it's great for strategy for the team.
Yeah.
I agree. He'd be great for obviously defense, the offensive potential. He's a role man. He's not really going to be a pick and pop guy.
He'd be like I'd want him to be someone like a DeAndre type of offensive player.
Yeah.
Catch ball.
I don't think he's ever going to be as strong as DeAndre. But yeah, that style of just cleaning up the glass and catching lobs, from half court, just.
Does he have good hands?
I think so. I mean, I haven't seen him this year, but from what I've watched, I don't think he's not stone hands.
No.
He's not Hibbert. He's got better hands than Mozgov. So, I mean, how many times this year have we seen D'Angelo try to do a pass and it either bounces off Mozgov's hands or he has no idea it's even going there? That's something that people didn't want to hear when we signed him, because his P&R numbers are really good.
Yeah.
But if you look at everyone from Cleveland, they were saying no, they're really good numbers, but he's definitely got stone hands.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would like Noel. I don't know if he would be like a top 3 player that I'm trying to get right now, like who's like a trading young guy type of thing. I'd probably put him 4 or 5 on that list. With I think top of that list is probably Oubre for me. I don't know why, but I think Oubre is the guy I like out of all the young wings.
Mm-hmm. He's finally getting into the rotation for the Wizards too.
Yeah. Oubre, Hazonia, maybe like Justin Anderson, but after those 3, I'd want Noel.
Yeah, and there are a lot of things to go with it, because then after you get Noel, you're gonna have to dump Tariq. Somewhere. Not necessarily dump. You're gonna want to try and get something for him, but his contract is set up perfectly. Say what?
Black from McCaw. Black for Looney. So give me something.
Yeah. Well, depending on the Nance injury, you may want to look for
Yeah.
a potential 4/5.
Yeah.
Any last bits that you wanted to?
I think that's really it.
All right, let's see. I know Jamie told me that we had questions. Where'd it go? This is definitely great. I know that we had more. Okay, Lakers fan Staley, thoughts on Luke pulling out D'Angelo in the fourth quarter? Obviously, we didn't like that one.
Yeah.
Lakers life, the same thing about D'Lo. Also, should we have put Mozgov in to grab some boards? We struggled late to rebound. I think so. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, both teams were playing crazy in pace, but it was just Zeller is big and he's not lumbering, but
he's super. I'm like, this is. I know this is like a stereotype, but he's really sneaky athletic. Like, I really mean that.
yeah,
he's like, he can dunk. He'll dunk on you. Like, he will hammer one on your head if he wants to.
Yeah, I agree. Peter, no. No to all of your questions. Tyler Collins asked, most of these are
D'Angelo.
And I mean, I think that's really the whole thing about the game.
Yeah.
The Randall didn't play great in the fourth, and that call to take him out.
Yeah, that was pretty much the story of the game. Randall and Luke were questionable today.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, I as frustrated as I was with this game, I mean, it's a young team. Stuff like this is supposed to happen. I think if we do the same thing next year, we win this game. This game finishes a lot different. Luke is still kind of like ironing out his coaching kinks.
Yeah.
So, as frustrated as I am at the moment, it's not that bad. It doesn't.
I mean, in the long run, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's just a learning experience, which what it really is.
It just means that he needs to stop trusting in the bench guys as much as he trusts in them. Like,
yeah,
you need to trust in D'Angelo. There's a reason why they are +8 in points ahead of anyone per 100 possessions. There's a reason for that. It's because he's good. No matter what you like, if anyone really wants to do the D'Angelo's a bust, he's not. Like, he's putting up historic numbers, which is insane, in 25.5 minutes per game.
Oh my god, that pisses me off.
Jamie has posted it and posted it and posted it. He's putting up what are his season numbers right now?
I want to say like 15 and 4.5, something like that.
Of course, you want to take forever, internet. Like I said, computer issues.
Yeah.
He's putting up 15, 4.5, and 3 rebounds per game. He's at 16.3 PER, which, like plus and minus, that really does not mean really anything.
Yeah.
I sometimes I like PER, but it's just 16.3 is good.
Yeah.
Like that's 17, I think, is supposed to be average for the NBA, but I think that's down now. I think that's anything above 17 is your high value starter now. And so if someone wants to correct me on that, and either put that in the comments or tell me on Twitter at 19yanks23. I'd be more than happy to eat crow if I'm wrong on that. But it's just
he's playing limited minutes and he's putting up a bad, but like he's being the bad version of him right now, which he isn't even being that bad. It's just he can be so much better.
Yeah. Well, people don't want to acknowledge it, but he's okay. So PER. Tariq in 14 minutes is putting up 16.8 PER.
Yeah.
Nick is at 16.6, and then it's D'Angelo at 16.3. So he's got the fourth best PER. Lou Williams, of course, is still torching at 24.2, which is the reason why he's an insane trade asset right now. Lou's doing it in 0.4 minutes, so like half a minute less than D'Angelo, but there was also a stretch when D'Angelo was hurt and Lou was able to just
when Lou was putting up historic numbers.
Yeah. D'Angelo in 25 and a half minutes, so he's just ahead of Nick. I freaking hate how it's so egalitarian, spread out the minutes. I don't like that at all.
Is it Ingram? I feel like it's Ingram.
What?
Who has most minutes on the team? Or, I mean, averaging most minutes.
No, he's of course he's third. Ingram is at 27.1 with Randall at 28.6, which is fine. Yep. But then Jordan Clarkson at 28.6. Why is Clarkson playing more than Russell? And maybe the numbers, well, most likely the numbers are skewed because of D'Angelo's.
Yeah, I think he was at like 27 before he got hurt.
Yeah,
and Clarkson was probably like 25 before D'Angelo got hurt.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll even out. But D'Angelo just needs to play more minutes.
Yep,
flat out. Like
the offense is so much better when he's on the court. It just flows. I don't know. I could talk about how much better the offense is for hours about dance, but I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Let me real quick just look for the picture Jamie posted here. Here we go. If you take off the per 36 numbers, which is a standard accepted practice of prediction.
Yeah.
Only 16 players ever averaged 15 points per game and 4.5 assists per game. D'Lo plays by far the least minutes. I think we went over this the last time where he was 5 whole minutes below the next person.
Yep.
And then 7 below
like Chris Paul or something.
The next person. It's just play D'Angelo more.
Yep. Free D'Angelo.
and seriously, it's not that we hate Luke. It's just that he just needs to play D'Angelo more flat out.
Yep,
this is your.
But he is the minimum. 28 is the minimum for me, really.
He's your top asset, and I mean, I think he's going to be. But even if you're still skeptical, your potential building block of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Only playing 25 and a half minutes a game.
Yeah.
All right. I'd get to the Lakers grades, but I think we'll do that next time.
Yep.
Since we're already running a little longer than I expected.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you wanted to end with?
No, just I don't know. It kind of sucks losing, but young team. Well,
young team, young coach.
And I think actually it's funny. We're still not even that far out of the playoffs,
which is stupid. But
yeah,
I'm not even gonna.
No,
I'm not gonna say anything. If you haven't already, check out Daniel Bishop's article on Lakers Pulse about the stupid ding article last week. He did a really good job on that. Soon, Nelson will be having out a post on upcoming prospects for the NBA draft. Our other staff writer, Mohammed Haroon, will be posting an article on Clarkson in the next few days, and I just posted my power rankings, so please go check those out. They're posted almost immediately after the game. Still only 7:25, so you can go read those if you want to at LakersPulse.com. Also, I'll be coming out with a follow-up to Nelson's article about top prospects. You'll have to go check that out when it drops. And then I will be doing a Noel trade post. So if you would like to read about that and what I think, then definitely at LakersPulse.com. Again, nothing left, Merge?
No, it was just frustrating game, but we'll get through it.
Word.
And then hopefully Nance is not that hurt.
Yeah, hopefully. And good luck with Randall. I know he's super stressed.
Yeah.
With the baby coming up.
Baby
where
boy.
can people find you, Merge?
At Merge Christian, and yeah.
Wonderful. Do you have an Instagram that you care to share?
Nah, not really. I'm gonna go on it.
All right. And you can find me at 19yanks23 on Twitter. And thank you very much. Thank you for everyone watching. Have a great night.
Peace.